Hello!
And welcome to the final episode of my Dark Souls series. But I've got just one question to start off with. What the hell is that? You'll remember back when we first met Solaire. The sun is on the opposite side. So what the hell is that? Well...
Thou that tarnisheth the Godmother's image, I am Gwyndolin. And thy transgression shall not go unpunished. Thou shalt perish in the twilight of Anor Londo.
So, the Age of Fire kind of ended, and this is the true form of what Anor Londo looks like. And you'll also notice when I get down here that several of the enemies just don't exist anymore. Do you remember those big golems? The ones where the hit detection was a bit weird? Yep, they don't exist anymore. I'm just going to leave that there. See? There were two here, and in their place. Are these? Or is that not the case? I'm trying to work out... Basically... basically what happens is... killing the image of Guinevere is considered to be the ultimate sin. And so then players will now be spawned in to try and stop me. And you'll notice that the Firekeeper is gone. She'll be out here, I think. Or perhaps down at the bottom of this tower. I'm trying to remember. It's one of the two. But in any case, we've now made an enemy of her. And so we've now got to choose whether we want to keep that bonfire active. Or whether we want to kill her and take her soul for use later on. Well, you know, in strengthening my Estus, which would make sense, wouldn't it? Because of the point we are in the story. That's her, I think. Well, this is the thing, is I all I know is that when it summons players in, it doesn't warn you anymore. So if you find like this is a player, maybe all I know is that these characters are appear at like the summon locations for like the Dark Moon Covenant. Basically, the idea is that the Dark Moon and Gwyndolin, who's this person we're going. Oh, that was the Firekeeper.
Woman is a threat, Master Gwyndolin.
So yeah, we're now going to take down Gwyndolin, who is the one who's sort of like held the illusion in place of Anor Londo as it formerly was. And to do that, we have to go down. Have I pressed this the right way? Yes. To the area below the bottom of the church, where we went to the Painted World. So below there is this bonfire and sort of shrine type thing to the Dark Moon. Basically, the idea is that Gwyndolin, while Guinevere was, sorry, my brain's sort of like conflicted about things. For whatever reason, Gwyndolin was raised sort of like misgendered by his parents as a woman, because women are more aligned with the moon than with the sun. Something like that. Any case, it ain't great.
Heretic. First thou offendeth the Godmother, and now thou see fit to trample upon the tomb of the great Lord. I am the dark sun, Gwyndolin. Let the atonement for thy felonies commenceth.
So, yeah, we now have to sort of... This is one of those sort of... You've got to dodge for a long amount of time, and then later on... It's going to be like a lot of dodging for like a very little amount of time that we'll actually have to attack Gwyndolin. Ah, yeah. And of course there's that attack which goes through walls. And this corridor doesn't go on forever, but it looks like it. No, didn't get it in time. See what I mean? Very tiny window for attacks. Otherwise you won't be able to attack him. No. It's probably for the best that I decided to to start a new video. You'll notice that Gwyndolin's sort of like got a whole tentacle kind of thing going on. Oh, his health isn't that long, so it shouldn't take an amazing amount of time. By the way, between the episodes, I found the very large ember, which is in New Londo, not far from the lift at the beginning of the level that you can access after you've lowered the water. There we go. See, I'm into the rhythm of it now, I think. One more hit. But yeah, this Covenant is actually quite an interesting one because, and I'd recommend you all try it. I say all, implying there's more than one person who's going to be watching this. Well, you know, not many people. But yeah, the Dark Moon Covenant is... Oh, no, 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 no. Ah. Damn it. Should have focused on not talking. But yes, the Dark Moon Covenant allows you to invade players who have sinned. Well, it gives you the means with which to invade players who have sinned, but it also allows you to invade players who have done the ultimate sin, like I'm doing now. So yeah, if I haven't already, I'll probably skip to my successful attempt, which probably would mean that this one that I'm about to do isn't. Oh no. Or is there a switch here? I can't remember. I should have rested at that damn bonfire, shouldn't I? Do I really have to go back through that church? Oh, I think the lever's on the other side. Alright, see you on the next video.
Let the atonement for thy felonies commenceth. O heretic, swathed in dark, an eternal curse upon thee.
So yeah, that was the fight with Gwendolyn. And at the end here, which is what he was protecting, see they now sort of like contracted the hallway, is the sort of honorary tomb of Great Lord Gwyn. Interesting pieces of set dressing, sort of as if Gwendolyn would just sit here and muse upon, you know, on what Gwyn had done. So yeah, just to go back to the things that have happened in the previous episode, Manus is the furtive pygmy. So at this point, we've now, with the exception of Gwyn himself, killed every single one of the Great Lords. So yeah, just got Gwyn to go. See, I can't remember what's going on with Manus's soul. I think there's something about it, like you should save it for a thing, but I don't know what. I don't know if it's like another weapon, like a usual thing, like a usual boss weapon, but I think it might be something else. But let's go back to Firelink and decide what we're going to do next. Well, rather, decide quite how we're going to give this world a send-off. Of course, the way that I'm deciding to give the world a send-off is by killing everyone.
How's he a rat? You... Not too...
Didn't even have time to speak. Hey, Laurentius.
You detest my pyre...
Honestly, I think that's everyone. I've already killed Petrus. Bye.
No, I'm fine. I'm fine. Well and wide awake. Do not treat me like an old withering snake. I am pleased to see you well. Is it something urgent?
Oh. I guess I've just got to jump down the hole.
Well.
So with all of the Great Lord's souls, we can now open the way beyond the Firelink altar. So between us and the centre of the kiln, there are several of these Silver Knights, and they are pretty tough. So I've got to be quite careful around them. Except for when they die in 2 hits like that. So yeah, in case you hadn't already put it all together, being the furtive pygmy, Manus received, or rather, when they were the furtive pygmy, Manus received the 5th Great Soul. Is that right? Am I counting them correctly? And that soul was the Dark Soul. And that is what humanity is, which we've been using for the whole game. So yeah, that's where humans come from. And in case you hadn't worked out yet as well, humans aren't considered great in this world. Humans are like the antithesis of like divinity. So there's sort of like this sort of like sliding scale, I think. Something like that. In any case, it's like the polar opposites of like gods and human, and that essentially what we saw in the Abyss is like humanity in its truest form. By the way, these guys, great source for titanite chunks. So if for whatever reason you are struggling and you need to get more like upgrade materials that will take you from plus 10 to plus 14, then that's what you can do. You can farm these guys and use the titanite chunks to upgrade your weapon. Of course, it doesn't do titanite, whatever the highest level is. That's like very rare and only used in like a couple of side quests mainly. Mainly, like say for example, if you successfully manage to do Siegmeyer's quest line, you'll get a titanite slab, I think it's called. This is titanite chunk, right? So Gwyn is actually a pretty easy boss if you are someone who has like got a shield that's for parrying. I don't. So I'm probably gonna die. But in any case, it's a rather sad time, I feel, because obviously over the years his power has faded considerably, and now he's just like kind of tiny compared to a lot of his divine brethren. But then again, I'm never too sure entirely about how the size comparisons things work. Like, say for example, just think about Sif. I mean, when we encountered Sif, did Sif get more powerful, or is it just an indicator of age usually? But then again, Gwyn is as he is now. For the one who lit the first flame, you would probably imagine that he wouldn't be weak to fire, but he is. I think for this next attempt, I'm going to swap out the fire surge for just the generic combustion, because that's got more charges. That was actually what I was tutting about when I first got to the door. So yeah. And so ends the Age of Fire. Yeah. There are 2 endings to Dark Souls. One where we re-begin a new Age of Fire by linking the fire. And one where we walk away and just leave. So it's sort of like call in an Age of Dark where humans can reign. Personally, I'm not sure which I consider to be the canon ending. But considering having seen both, I'll just link the fire. Let's see what the final message is. Try resignation. Indeed. So yeah, that's Dark Souls. I am going to continue this video a little bit. I'm going to play in New Game Plus up until my first death, and then that's going to be it. So yeah, interesting. Let's see where this takes us. I made sure to get the master key from what's his name, Domhnall of Xena. So I will try and go like towards. I'll go a different route, shall we say?
Yes, indeed. The dark sign brands the undead. And in this land, the undead are corralled and led to the north. Where they are locked away to await the end of the world. This is your fate.
So at the point I'm currently recording this, we have a couple of months until the release of Dark Souls 3. And if you look at the various limited edition versions of the game, you'll find one that's got a statue in that is, it sort of looks like a giant. And if you look at the name of it, the name is the Lord of Cinder. So, essentially, because this is a story of cycles, like the way that sort of every like age, the world kind of needs to get sort of like a bit of a kick to get it going again. Oh hey, then basically. What was I saying? Sorry, I'm getting distracted by the demon. Not that I should. That essentially, that's the term now. Essentially, I don't know if we had a term before, but essentially the idea of being like a chosen undead in every age. And of course, it's not so much the chosen undead singular. It's the chosen undead. Oh, why is it locked? Oh, apparently I've got to go around the whole area to get a key, which is a little bit annoying. So yeah, sorry, I'm talking in side points to things that. Why am I picking this up? Talking side points to things that are well irrelevant to my main point. So my main point being that the statue heavily implies that a Lord of Cinder is what that thing is. So this I generally read an age as being 1,000 years long, or thereabouts. Do I need to get... Yeah, I get the key from Oscar, don't I? There we go. Big pilgrim key. Ah, there we go. So yeah. There's another thing I saw which someone said implied that an area in Dark Souls 3 is going to be called Firelink Shrine. So it sort of implies that not only does look, see, I'm really trying to skirt around spoilers here. Basically, right, okay. If you don't want to hear Dark Souls 2 spoilers, maybe skip ahead a bit or just stop watching. Basically, because of the way that Drangleic is Lordran, You know, it's built on Lordran like several ages later, and what am I saying? It's built on Lordran several generations later, several ages later rather, and I'm really losing it today. I'm really losing it. Losing my ability to speak or think properly. So yeah. It seems that the presence of a location called Firelink Shrine... Can I skip this?
That one day an undead shall be chosen.
Yeah, I can. If there is a Firelink Shrine in Dark Souls 3, that would imply that not only is it still set in Lordran, like the other two games, but is also like a lot closer to the Dark Souls 1 era, which is what a lot of people had suggested, because Scholar of the First Sin's alternate ending sort of essentially kills the series dead, and because of that I wasn't really looking forward to Dark Souls 3 when it was first announced. Shall I put it into... Well, I've got a maxed out axe. Oh, I'll do that since it gives me 1 attack point. Can I kill this guy already early in the game?
How's he rat? You have some nerve.
This is going to play havoc with my
I'm not defenseless, you
my idea of doing a no death run, just like going until I die. Because this guy is going to get me in 1 hit. Shit!
Now that's just embarrassing. How'd you let me do that to you?
That was really appropriate. Oh. Although I did say that. I do kind of want to just continue on. Let's just see if I can kill this guy. And then we'll see about anything else. Basically, I'm going to change the rules to be that I'm going to play until I'm bored. Whee! So, let's give the Firekeeper soul to reinforce the Estus Flask. How do we get down to... I'm trying to remember. There's a... Oh yes, sorry. It is down here. So as I mentioned just before the credits, but I may have cut that out. I bought the Master Key from Domhnall of Xena. And the reason for that is specifically so I can go down here and try to defeat Quelaag as my first boss. I think this is one of the strategies that people use to, like, speedrun and stuff. Because, don't forget, to open the way to Sen's Fortress, you need 2. It's this way, isn't it? That's the way to the Valley of the Drakes. That you know, you need the 2 bells of awakening to ring out to awaken Kingseeker Frampt and also open the way to Sen's Fortress. So that's essentially the first sort of quest of the game, and then there's the the Anor Londo battle arc, as I call it, and then you finish off with the killing of the Great Lords. And I think after this, I'm probably going to watch a speed run. Just because I'm curious, and I feel like I need to really take a break from this series. I've played... How many? I think I've done 3 playthroughs, and I've completed 2 of them. This is the second one I've completed in like a relatively short time frame. So I think I need a break from this game and the series. I you know, just so I'm not completely burnt out for when Dark Souls 3 comes out in 2 months' time. Speaking of which, thank you for watching this. Especially, mainly with the first 5 episodes, it's felt kind of like... I know it's not brilliant. There's not a brilliant series, but to someone like me who feels like they've never really done anything of value at all, you know, this was like the first thing that I've done that I felt had some sort of quantifiable value. So it makes me feel a little better about myself, and also it's helped me get friends into the series, and some of them are going to be playing Dark Souls 3 when it comes out, like on launch. So I've now got like a wider group of people who are all going to be in on it at the same time. So yeah. What else should I talk about? Because I don't think I should just leave it as silence. What am I doing? Ooh. Basically, what my hope is for Dark Souls 3 is that it will be something that has the build variety of Dark Souls, but the sort of gameplay of Bloodborne, perhaps. You know, the sort of snappy nature of it and how quickly it moves. I mean, the ideal scenario would be that it also has the atmosphere of Demon Souls, because recently I've got into that. Ooh, incredible power. Seems to be the only Lord Soul you can actually use. Right, where's my blooming moss? Oh, maybe I should just move. Wait, where am I going? I'm trying to get to that water wheel type thing. I'm sure I'm going the wrong way now. Get off me. So yeah, I felt a little bit disappointed by Bloodborne. I liked it a lot of the time, but the build variety, it's like, oh, well, part of the thing is that they've sort of, what's the polite word of saying it? Streamlined some of the game mechanics. I didn't. Well, basically, they've reduced the stats to 6, and that, on the face of it, is actually quite nice. You know, you've got 2, because it's a very parry-focused game. You've got 2 stats that govern your left hand generally, 2 stats that govern your right hand weapon, and 2 stats that govern your health and stamina. So essentially, your left hand ones are for... They are Blood Tinge, which does like just general ranged attack, and then Arcane, which does more sort of like if you're using like a fire-based left-hand weapon, like a flame sprayer or something. What am I even doing? I should just run past. I mean, I run past on a normal playthrough. Why shouldn't I do it on the one where I'm trying to get through quickly? Oh, God, get away from me. Joe would have been a smart decision, kindling bonfires ahead of time. It would have been neat for me to do that on the previous playthrough when I could actually do that. There we go. No purple moss. And this might actually be one of the few times that I've actually attempted Quelaag without the help of Man-Eater Mildred. I could have just gone to the left slightly. Actually, maybe, I'm thinking about it, maybe I'll play up to Sen's Fortress. You know, it being my favourite part of the game. The sort of like wonderful slapstick charm. Oh, there we go, the AoE. And I'm dead. Yeah, I'll leave it there. So yeah, Dark Souls. What is there to say? It is the Dark Souls of Dark Souls, as many idiots say. Yeah, it's not a great expression, is it? The Dark Souls of anything, because it sort of, I feel it minimises the achievements of both Dark Souls and whatever you're talking about. So yeah, I've had fun during parts of this. I had fun up until Sen's Fortress. I didn't have fun when we were doing the stuff in the catacombs, and I had sort of like existential dread. Because to me, Dark Souls is about dealing with depression. And while I don't like to self-diagnose, and now that I'm saying this, I think this is a thing I said on an earlier episode, I might have depression, I might not. But in any case, I suppose, thank you for watching, and give you another thank you from Hawkeye. And hope you stick around with me if I do future videos. I'm thinking about doing one on the opening area of Bloodborne, because kind of like the first 5 videos of this, Bloodborne peaks early, I find, and then it kind of drops off a little. But the DLC is great. Apart from the fact that it reuses a lot of assets in the first third. In fact, there's a location from the main game that they use twice in the Old Hunters DLC. So yeah, I might make more Dark Souls videos, but they'll probably be on things that specifically pertain to like New Game Plus. Like for example, it might be Gravelord Covenant. I'm thinking about doing that, and it might not even be on this file. So this is like sort of the end of this character and continuity and all that, and I hope I can help you. Essentially, I hope that this has helped in some way, whether it be helping someone get into the series or whatever, or even just like getting through it through videos, because you know, when I've got a friend who wouldn't sort of entertain the idea of playing this before he watched a Let's Play of this, and he stopped watching that around Blighttown and bought it because that was what I suggested. He was actually thinking of buying 2, and I said maybe don't. I do like 2, but it is very much the sort of straight-to-DVD sequel to a film you really like. Because there are connections there that you appreciate. But all in all, it was a disappointment, probably. Over time, I've gradually warmed to it, though. So it's not all bad. Like similarly, I warmed to Demon's Souls. I hated that at first. I played that. I imported it from America because at that time it wasn't even announced for Europe. Yeah. I think that's all I've got to say, really. I've rambled on long enough. And which is strange because of the bits where there were actual gameplay, I was sort of stuttering and stumbling over my words. But yeah, I'll see you in whatever comes next for you or me. So bye.